Week 2, I'm back. Despite my protein supply being inexplicably cut off and needing to look for a new supplier, I managed to survive the week here on Planet Powerlifting. It is 2:57 p.m. on February the 18th, and I'm going to review the last week of training for whoever might find this or watch it. Now, my day 1 was my big sort of raw competition day, squat and bench. And squat continues to progress, hit 260 kilos for a nice triple, and things are moving well. Seems like there's plenty of room to progress on this movement, and it's really good to see the raw strength going so well on an equipped focus block. It's always encouraging. Managed a 177.5 kilo on my bench, continuing to work on solid pauses and quality of movement there, feeling successful and competent with it. Day 2, I discovered a new derivative of ammonia that seems to help with arousal, seems to help me get where I need to be for these heavy, hard training sessions, and managed to pull 320 kilos plus 35 kilos in chains, so about 355 at the top, which is approaching respectable raw weights, so I'm definitely happy to see that. Really hammering that top end lockout, that position that seems to give me trouble with competition weights in my deadlift suit, so hopefully that carries over and we don't have a repeat of Worlds. I fixed my pin press height and was able to do a much better job on these this week, and hit a smooth 195 kilos and finished the day off with perhaps the most terrifying thing I've come across so far on my journeys here, and they're called snatch grip Romanian deadlifts, and I wouldn't recommend them. They will suck the soul, the life force right out of you. The second half of the week continued to be successful. I managed to increase the loads by a substantial amount on my equipped lift, which resulted in a 372 kilo equipped squat. Hit depth, which is good. I kind of had it in the back of my head, not going to worry about depth until about 370, 375, and the 372 was convincing depth. I was happy with that. Also hit a big equipped squat PR of 340 kilos for a set of 5. That was that felt damn good. I was really happy with that.
Nice. Yep. 5. Help him in. Tell him when he's in. Tell him when he's in. You're in here.
My equipped bench, I was a little bit hesitant with adding the extra weight on this day, but it seems to be that I'm going to need a lot more weight than the last time I touched my bench shirt. I've been able to get a few touches, but they haven't been clean. They haven't been kind of what I'm used to in terms of getting the touch. So I worked up to 345 kilos on this day, and I believe I touched it, although just barely, and it still moved pretty quickly, so I was happy about that. I think it's worth noting that 245 kilos is also only 10 kilos shy of my best in competition, so again, promising prospects for the equipped bench. My day 4 this week, again, continued to carry the trend of building momentum, and my deadlift day was the first day over 800 pounds in my suit. I worked up to a single at 365 kilos and moved well, locked out well, nice and smooth throughout the whole range of motion. It was a bit of a mental challenge for me that day, adding weight back onto the deadlift. My last prep was very light, and it took me some doing to get there mentally to be confident enough that the weight was going to move with the jumps that I spoke about earlier in terms of miscalculating the number of weeks I had till nationals. I was happy to see that 800 move as well as it did. My top set of pin press was 160 kilos for a set of 5, and also really cool to kind of think about how not long ago, 6 to 8 months ago, 160 kilos on the bench was a top single, and now I'm doing it for sets of 5 on variations, so it's exciting to see that much progress in the last 6 to 8 months on my bench especially, which is something that's given me problems for a long time. Was also able to get through all of my front squats this week, up to a clustered set of 6 at 175 kilos, so 3 reps, 30 seconds rest, 3 reps, and front squats feeling really strong. I think I'm in a good place to take a PR on this by the end of the block, so that's exciting. At this point, I'm starting to become a lot more confident that I will survive these last few weeks on Planet Powerlifting, as its unpredictable orbit takes me further and further from everything and everyone that I know. This is Bryce Krawczyk, signing off.